Disclaimer. This episode contains graphic descriptions of violence that may be disturbing to some listeners. Please be advised.
Hi. Hello.
What's up?
I'm Taylor.
I'm Mandy.
I'm Amanda.
This is Pop Crime and Wine.
Hey.
Welcome.
We are a pop culture true crime podcast if you're listening in for the first time.
And
It sounded so professional.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Don't be
I
fooled.
try. Hey, that's rude.
we're
We ain't
sorry
about that
that this episode is a little late. I, Amanda, have come down with the sickness.
Down with the sickness.
So I apologize in advance if I do have a little bit of the sniffles.
She's got the black lung.
I've got the black lung.
I'm sick.
I'm
I can't
sick.
go out.
Merman! Okay.
Oh, God.
So there's so many different references going on.
There's shooting
love
left
it.
and right.
So, like I said, I'm sorry that this episode came out a little later than normal. But I sound 30 times better today than I
sound great.
did when we should have recorded this
You have
episode.
that little bit of rasp that kind of like gives off the sexy.
Yeah,
You're
but
bringing sexy back.
I wish that it was that and not I wish that it was just my throat and not like
Your nose.
The nose thing.
the constant snot thing.
Yeah, because in
when
high
it's like,
school, actually, my best friend and I would like scream at the top of our lungs to lose our voices. I don't know if I've ever talked about this on the podcast.
No, but this is interesting.
Have I
I'm
never
glad
said
that you're
this?
talking
Just
about
on
it.
purpose?
Yeah, so we would go to football games and we would do things and we would scream so loud because we wanted to lose our voices because we thought that we sounded so
You
sexy.
thought you would sound like Sophia Bush from One Tree Hill?
Yes.
Seriously. That's what
We
it
were
is.
like,
Her voice
Yeah.
is the best.
so
It
sexy, and we were like, oh yeah, if we just get really raspy, it will be super sexy. And
How'd that work
Mel
out?
would get so mad because she would never lose her voice and I would always lose mine, and she's like, Amanda, you always get everything, and I'm like, yeah, I'm so sexy.
Oh,
And
my
it was
God.
great. And so I wish that I felt sexier now that I have kind of lost my voice, but it would help a lot if I didn't have the like nasal drip.
I mean, you sound better than you think you do, I think.
Oh,
Yeah,
good. Well,
Definitely.
In your head, I know, but it's like constantly like, wah, 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 wah.
It does suck that this is also like it's based on your voice. We're not doing videos where you could just smile and
Right.
like, you know.
and just look pretty.
Yeah.
Which I don't do that either right now.
Let's be honest.
Come on.
That's not something we do.
But we are making it up to you guys by announcing that really exciting news that we had, you know,
A few weeks ago.
probably like 6 weeks ago we told you about, but it was in the
Probably
works.
premature to announce we had news.
It definitely was. But now's the time that we are going to tell you
So
our big
excited.
news.
Taylor?
Taylor,
Drum
tell
roll,
us.
please. We are. That was a drum?
I did the bass drum. Boom, 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 boom.
That's good.
We're working with local wineries in our area to
Bring wine to us.
bring
Wow.
the wine to us,
Bring
please.
us all of
Fancy.
the wine.
Just bring us wine. Just give us the wine,
And
please.
one of our favorites.
Yes. So I
today's.
personally am very excited about this one. Our friends over at Arrington Vineyards gave us this bottle of wine, and I personally can say that it is my favorite wine.
Same.
It is also my favorite place because I got married there. I love
And-
Arrington Vineyards. They have the same initials as I do.
The very
AV?
first
What's that?
time that I was ever there was for your
engagement
engagement
pictures.
shoot.
Oh.
Yes.
And
That
it
was the first time you ever went?
beautiful. Yeah.
Oh, I love
We
it there.
go
It was
like,
amazing.
all the time.
all the time.
It's
We're
so
there
it looks like
too
it's out of a
much.
magazine.
Like rolling hills. and
Yes, it's beautiful.
all the wine you could ever ask for.
And the wine
it's
is
good.
great. And the wine that we have today is my personal favorite. I think that we probably have 6 bottles of this at my house currently.
You're about
but
to have 5.
no, 6
No,
on
this
top
is-
of this.
this was donated
No, I'm
to
saying that I'm going to
specifically.
come and
Oh,
take
you're
one.
gonna. Oh, okay. Well,
okay.
that I have
That
locks
joke went
and
so far over.
It didn't. It
everything.
didn't work.
I have the
It-
ring
it
doorbell, so you
flopped.
cannot sneak into my house and steal my wine. I'm very. You can steal other things, just not the wine.
Just not the wine.
Steal like
Anything
my
but the
yeah,
wine.
not the wine.
Take the flat screen.
The flat screen.
No,
Did you
please
just
don't
say
do that either, though. My husband would be very angry. But this wine is aged in Tennessee whiskey barrels. And we can't actually say which Tennessee whiskey barrels they're aged in. Or, well, I guess Arrington can't say that, but I can say that they were aged in the only Tennessee whiskey, which is Jack Daniels. But they're not legally allowed to say that anymore.
Oh, interesting.
But whenever you taste it, you can get that hint of whiskey. And it is so good and so delicious, and I'm excited. So let's pop it open.
Drunk off of this wine at your wedding.
Yes, I'm sure that plenty of people do.
Yeah, I was like, I had one glass of a different wine, which it was all right. I mean, it was good. They were all good.
We chose our 4 favorite wines for our wedding. But then I
just kept going back to that. And then at the, by the like 3rd or 4th glass, the bartender was like, Antebellum. And I was like, yep. Thanks.
Yeah, that would be
I'll have another.
Yes. Yes, sir. May I have
Please,
another?
sir, may I have another?
Yeah.
Nice.
Beautiful, beautiful.
I've gotten so spoiled by our like fancy wine opener at home.
Yeah, she's got one of those electric ones.
I ordered on Amazon on Black Friday for like $5. She shushed us so you guys could hear the wine being poured. I don't even remember what I was saying.
I don't actually.
Either way, you guys should be super excited about this, and you will have to come to Tennessee to drink this wine or order it online and have it shipped to you.
Come hang with us. Message us or email us or something, and we'll go have a glass of wine with you somewhere.
We'll totally go to Arrington with you.
100%.
Because, like I said...
And now the weather's nice.
Oh, it was 59 degrees today.
Oh, it was beautiful today.
Bless. This wine brings back memories.
Oh, it just smells delicious.
Mostly of just, like... me crying at your wedding.
Yum.
Like 6 times.
Oh, I was about to say, why were you crying? Oh, okay, I get it.
It was such a beautiful day.
It was so beautiful.
It was mostly that, yes.
It was really sweet.
So I think that we decided...
It has a bit of a, like, not...
It's like a charcoal-y.
Yeah, charcoal-y. It reminds me of, like a campfire or something for some reason.
Whiskey barrels.
Well, the whiskey barrels are charred.
Yum.
And that's like where it has that like char flavor.
It makes me want s'mores.
Well, I mean, we could have a fire. We do have a fire pit in the backyard.
We should do
I'm
that.
a really strange person, and I don't eat s'mores like normal people because I don't like graham crackers. So I take here's a pro tip for all you out there. If you take...
It's a life hack?
It is a life hack. It is the best life hack I have ever come up with.
Oh, God.
You take a giant marshmallow, and you open it up, and you put the chocolate inside of it. You close it back up. You put it over the fire, and you melt the chocolate inside of the marshmallow.
Oh, God.
It is so
Amanda,
weird.
I feel... Did you say this on the podcast before? Or did you just tell me sometime, because I remember you telling me that?
I don't remember
I don't
this.
think that we would ever talk about s'mores on the podcast before, but we are friends in real life, so I'm sure that we've had this conversation.
Talked about s'mores.
Right. I do remember the story.
I feel like that would be something that we would talk about.
Every time I eat s'mores, that's what I do.
We did talk about the Sandlot one
like
time, and that could easily be segued into s'mores.
Yeah. How?
You know, s'more of what? How can I have s'more of something if I, the Sandlot line? Come on, guys.
I know, but
it's just funny.
That's not where I go when I think of the Sandlot.
That's all I think of.
Think of like lifeguards or.
Oh yeah, that's
I don't like
the Beast.
Marshmallows. Your faces.
I just said I don't like graham crackers, so it's
no,
fine.
I don't like marshmallows.
I wonder if you've tried the right ones.
How many variations of marshmallows?
There are quite a few variations of
Peeps?
marshmallows.
No, I hate Peeps.
Peeps are the worst.
I don't eat Peeps either, but I'm just asking.
Fuck Peeps.
They're awful.
I like that. We should make that a t-shirt.
That should be a new t-shirt.
Fuck Peeps.
I still like Distract the Demons. I am gonna make that with like little like poppy seeds around it.
That was a good one.
That was good.
Oh,
go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say, I know we talked a couple our last episode, or I don't know things anymore, but we talked about how we were going to do crime first. Or do you want to do that, or do you want to do something else?
Yeah, we should. We also have a couple new reviews that I thought would be nice to give some shout outs because they're kind of stellar.
Why don't we start with that? Maybe.
Yeah.
Then. Okay.
Yeah, just there are only a few.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
My favorite one is from someone who calls themselves Regina Phalange. The title of it says Best True Crime Podcast Out There. And she says, I can't help but rave about this podcast to my friends and family, really anyone who will listen. Haha, but these gals keep you glued to your headphones, speakers, or whatever listening devices meet your fancy. If I could have given a 6-star review, I would have. Can't say enough about this podcast. It's one of my favorites.
Oh, Regina.
Yeah, Regina
Sweet.
Phalange.
Regina, if that's your real name.
I know. I'm like,
Phalange for sure is
Someone-
not real.
Someone likes Friends.
someone likes Friends.
Oh, it's a Friends reference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Regina Phalange.
It's Phoebe's fake
Phoebe's,
name.
yeah, she's
Oh,
going to change her
damn.
name.
I wish I would have gotten that.
Well, you learn something new every day.
Okay, so then there is one from eJam. And it says, but where is my glass? Every episode, when the girls pop the cork and start pouring wine, I feel like I need to pull a glass out too. That might be a bad idea on my commute to work. Yes, that is a bad idea.
don't
let's
do
not
it.
condone
Please
that.
do not do
That's
that.
not
Don't
worth
drink and
it.
drive, friends.
I started listening to this podcast because my friend is in it, potential bias, but I kept listening because it's actually really engaging. Sure, I love a juicy crime story, but the first half of the podcast is almost more fun. I love that the topic changes every week and gives my brain a little stimulation other than murder and misery. Keep it up, ladies. Yeah.
I love it.
Woo!
Then one more we have from Kinley Troy. The title is Love It. She said, I love the detailed research these girls do while keeping us entertained. I laugh while getting an interesting tale of crime. I wouldn't miss this one. I can't wait for the next week's podcast.
Podcast.
God bless. Thank you, Kinley.
Yeah, we appreciate all the reviews we get. Honestly, if you enjoy listening to this podcast and you're not skipping through this part right now, it means you might actually like us, and you should go in and leave us a review.
Yeah,
and if
totes, leave us a review.
Totes.
My goats.
And if it just so happens to be a 5-star review, we wouldn't be mad about that.
Right? We
Yeah.
might even read it on our next podcast.
Yeah, we'll give you a little shout out.
Shout out.
Please. It is fun to read them though. Like
It is,
It
right?
is.
I guess I don't think that we're that cool, and so when I read things,
Right.
it makes me feel like we might actually be a little bit cool.
Yeah, we're really
And
cool. What are you talking about?
we think we're funny. And then when other people also think that,
It makes us feel good.
it makes us feel really good.
Yep.
It validates our feelings.
Also, I think that I should have just brought over another bottle of Antebellum because it's so good, and I don't want to stop.
Yeah, I was like, you're going
It's
to
delicious.
plow through that glass.
Good thing I'm going first.
Oh, yeah. So we are switching it up and just trying this out where we start off with crime and then end with something a little bit less heavy.
So that we don't leave here kind of depressed, or you guys don't end the episode kind of depressed.
Yeah, we just want to see
But
how we
let us
feel.
know.
Yeah, tell us how it is. We're gonna do it a couple times, and then we want you guys to be happy, so you tell us what you like best, and that's why we keep trying to kind of switch it up on everyone, so that we're trying to figure out our best.
Yeah, we're still learning.
Yeah.
Yep.
So,
All right. So what crime we got?
well, I figured that since we're drinking a Nashville wine, that I should do a Nashville crime.
I see what you did there.
Bum, bum, bum.
Right.
And like I said, I'm sorry that I sound like this. If you've ever been to Nashville before, you've probably heard of Printer's Alley. It's like this little spot downtown,
school.
super old. It's got a lot of history, and it's like a ton of bars and
There used to be a nudie karaoke bar down there.
yep,
Why
there.
don't we still have
I'm
that
pretty
around?
sure that
I think
might
it's
still
gone.
be there.
They
Miss Kelly's?
whatever one that says nude karaoke in the window is now like this restaurant.
Oh,
Really?
that's sad.
When you first walk in and it's to the
I
left.
feel like there should be nude karaoke.
Should always be nude karaoke.
I would consider
What
it.
is Nashville without nude karaoke?
Yeah, we've
Yep.
lost our identity.
Cowboy boots and boobs. Here we are, Nashville.
Only cowboy boots.
So I'm just going to give a little bit of history. There is a historic Skulls Rainbow Room, and it is downtown Printers Alley. It's a major cultural news that incorporates country music, murder, speakeasies, burlesque, and a carnival worker. So
I love it already.
yeah, it's pretty interesting.
Sounds scary.
It reopened in like 2016, I think.
Skulls?
Skulls, yeah.
Yes, I've been there.
So, David Schulman opened his nightclub in 1948 in Printers Alley, which used to be where everything was like published and printed in all these buildings and like businesses. And then when those got shut down, it turned into more of like a bar place. The narrow 2-block jaunt stretches from Union Street to Church Street. Andy Griffith was a house comedian at Skulls, and the club featured exotic dancers in the Bible Belt hometown of Betty Page. Printers Alley nightclubs populated the Bourbon Street-like strip, and entertainers on the circuit included Waylon Jennings, Hank Williams, and the Supremes. In 1963, Jimi Hendrix played with bassist Billy Cox at the Jolly Roger next door to Skulls. Shulman was born in North Nashville, several blocks from the since-razed Sulphur Dell ballpark. As a teenager, he froze baseballs in the meat freezer at the nearby Swift & Company to deaden the rubber inside, and he was once accidentally locked inside the freezer on the 4th of July.
Why do you deaden rubber inside a baseball?
Because you can, like, I
Probably
think...
won't go as far, is what I'm guessing.
Yeah. So he was, like, trying to, like, keep them from getting, like, home runs and stuff.
Oh,
He was just...
interesting.
Wouldn't they be using the same
Yeah, because same ball
the
for
same
everybody, right?
balls?
Yeah, I'm sure that he probably just thought it was funny. He seemed like he was, like...
The jokester,
yeah,
that one?
a little jokester.
Okay.
I guess. Or maybe it, like, helped them... I would think that it would deaden it, but maybe it made it even, like, more intense. Who knows?
Oh, I doubt it.
I don't know baseball. Shulman was known as the mayor of Printers Alley and later became a semi-cast member on the Hee Haw television series.
I loved Hee Haw.
Oh, you watched Hee Haw? What is the Hee Haw television series?
It was like,
Yes,
it's
it
kind
was-
of like the
it was
Grand Ole
like-
Opry. Like it's like an
Oh.
old, I mean,
But it's like with comedy.
Yeah.
So it's like
Interesting.
SNL,
but like country.
but like a hokey.
Yeah. But it's like a famous.
sounds like
was
something
on
I would
Hee Haw.
hate.
You're a hater.
I am sometimes.
He liked to wear his faded blue Hee Haw overalls behind his beloved bar. Skull also loved poodles. During Christmas, Skull would dye his poodles red and green. Elvis Presley once sent him a poodle, and Skull insisted on naming every poodle Sweetie or Sugar. He was often seen walking his poodles on a rhinestone leash down Printers Alley. I also read another article about how he would like paint them different colors, like not just red and green, but they would like be rainbow colors so that they like
man.
went along with the
bar.
Rainbow Room.
So wonderful.
And then on January 21st, 1998, he was murdered during a robbery inside the club. A cigarette vendor found him lying on the floor, and his latest dog was wandering around the bar. His throat had been slit, and he had been hit over the head with a liquor bottle. He died the next day at 80 years old.
Shit.
Yeah. The horrific murder shook the Nashville entertainment industry to its soul. Country singer Tanya Tucker rushed to Skull's bedside before he died, and Skull's really close friend Willie Nelson also appeared on America's Most Wanted in an effort to catch the killer.
Oh, man.
So they went for a really long time having no idea. They just knew that he'd been robbed, and he was known to carry like wads of cash in his overalls.
It's not good.
Huh.
And
This was a known thing? Like, I wouldn't let
I guess.
people in on that.
I mean,
little
it was known enough
detail.
for me to find it in
Yeah,
articles
that's
that I
true.
read. So he would like carry a roll of cash like close to him in his chest pocket, and I mean he wasn't lying there dead, but he was like, close to being dead, and he was totally robbed, and they had like also stolen a lot of things out of his bar. So later on, there's a man named Pence, and he was working at a carnival at the Tennessee State Fair and Skull once hired him for a part-time help. Pence told police he knew Skull carried large wads of money. So later they found out that Pence and another guy, Cave, they had conspired together to murder him. And so his own employee, Pence, pleaded guilty to facilitating the murder, and then his cohort, is that the term?
Cohort.
Cave.
Yeah, Cave came out of nowhere. Like, who is that?
Yeah, so
Just
it
a
was
random
just some
dude?
guy that they found later, because eventually Pence, like after being questioned for a long time, he finally admitted to like
Being a part of
facilitating it.
Yeah.
They weren't even found guilty or found at all until 2001. So this happened in 98, and then 3 years later they were able to figure out who the people were.
Wow.
So they went on to America's Most Wanted, and they like did all these things, and then from like one person talking to the other person talking, and there was this huge long trail that all these policemen went through. They were finally able to hunt down they were finally able to hunt down Pence, who worked for him, and he was like, yeah, so I worked for him, but I was also a carny, and he like left, and that's why it took them so long to hunt him down, because
he was traveling.
a carny. Yeah, like he just traveled all over the place.
Yeah.
And then he came out and said that his friend Cave was the one who did it, and he got a life sentence, while Pence only got between 15 and 25 years.
Wow.
For facilitating the murder. Even though that was like in 2001, and they're both in prison. And then Skull's Rainbow Room closed.
Not for much longer. If he only got 15 to 25.
Skull's Rainbow Room closed for several months, and then like they had to like redo a whole bunch of stuff, and then eventually, because it had so much history, they were able to like reopen it, and now it's here
It's
for us to
beautiful,
go
by
to.
the way, and it does really feel like you're stepping back in time. When I went, so my other Amanda and I, when she visits Nashville, she always makes a list of all the like food places that she wants to go, because she's a baker and she has a blog. It's Midwest Nice blog, by the way, shout out. And so we went to Skull's Rainbow Room to try to see the burlesque show, but they had just started only doing them on Fridays and Saturdays, and we went on a Sunday. So we didn't know that. But anyway, they still had like this
Day too late, a dollar too short.
dollar too short and a day late.
Yep.
But they had this really awesome like jazz duo kind of thing, where it was this guy playing it, this young looking guy, like straight out of college looked like, and then this young woman, and it was beautiful, like just singing this jazzy music, and like
Nice.
the atmosphere is beautiful. It's like really low lighting, it's like dark, and the food was phenomenal, so I highly recommend it.
It's very small, like it only seats
is.
140 people.
Yeah, we made reservations.
Now, is it? I'm trying to picture like where in Printer's Alley it is. So I go to Fleet Street all the time. If I was walking up and Fleet Street's on my right, where would it be?
I think it's on the right, but I think it's before Fleet Street.
Fleet Street is the first thing you see, and you have to go downstairs to get to it.
Then it's right after it.
After it,
And I think
Okay.
it's upstairs, isn't it? Maybe that's wrong.
It's up like a ramp thing, but you go inside first. You go up like 2 steps and then into the building.
Oh, okay. I'll
Yeah.
have to go.
We should
check it out.
It's a little pricey,
Yeah.
but it's worth it. I mean, if it's like a date night or like, a special outing or something,
Yeah.
it's so good.
So that was my story. I'm sorry that it wasn't as like super long and interesting as our normal ones are, but I didn't think that anybody wanted to hear me talk for that long.
I think your voice sounds fine, honestly.
I guess I'm just used to how it sounded for the last few days, that I haven't like
Yeah.
realized that it sounds better.
That it's
yet.
getting better.
Yeah. But I thought it was really interesting that like
I love local
there's
history.
there's so much history that like goes into the building.
Yeah.
And then this like sweet little man just got murdered for his money for no reason, and they like slit his throat and hit him upside the head with a liquor bottle.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
pretty violent for someone that doesn't have a grudge against. Like, why make it so personal? Like,
Yeah,
it
just
feels
for
very
robbery.
passion driven.
Well, the guy who facilitated it was like an employee for him.
Yeah, but not his ex-lover. Like
That's true.
there's a difference between.
Well, they were both like semi-homeless
Yeah.
carnival workers who
I guess they didn't have much
Yeah.
to lose.
yeah,
That's
like
true.
I mean, you don't normally hear great things about carnies. No offense.
Yeah, right. Well, it's a certain kind of person that can just pick up their life and not have any roots anywhere and travel
like
around.
gypsies.
Yeah, really.
So.
I think a lot of people choose that on purpose because they don't really have to be.
And I feel like there's a lot of like random like murders from carnival workers because it's hard
then you
to
pick
track
up and
them down.
leave. Yeah. Well, that's why. What was the TV show I was thinking of? Heroes. Did you guys ever watch Heroes?
I watched
the
like
first, like,
2,
4 seasons.
yeah, or 3 seasons.
Yeah, I
of
think
it.
the third
then it got
season
shitty.
there were a bunch of carnival workers, and that one dude who plays what's his face in Prison Break is in it, and he's real creepy. Like he is like a really old, decrepit Johnny Depp. You guys know who I'm talking about?
No.
Teabag
At the moment. Oh.
from
terrible
Prison
nickname.
Break. Did you guys not watch
I
Prison
never
Break?
watched
Oh, it's
Prison
fine.
Break.
Okay, I'll just be by myself over here.
Okay.
Sorry.
I'm the only one in this room that's watched Hee Haw, so.
That's true.
I have seen Hee Haw
Okay.
as a child, but I mean, I don't think I like watched
We
it.
had it all on DVD, so.
Oh yeah, no, it wasn't. I think I watched it with my grandfather.
Taylor. She's like, that's Mandy.
That's your
exactly
small
it.
town Wisconsin for ya. So,
Yeah.
but I think it's just really sad that someone would do this to an 80-year-old man who like was
sad.
so loved by so many people. So I think that's why I also kind of chose it because
That would be really terrible
so
to get
sweet
that
little man.
far in life, to be like 80 years old and have your life taken that way instead of dying while you're sleeping,
yeah.
like people want.
I am. Well, I mean, he's like
what I want.
infamous now, even more. So,
Yeah.
and I'm just happy that they didn't kill the dog.
I mean, yeah.
Like the dog was still alive, walking
if
around.
I'm watching a movie and somebody kills a horse or a dog,
Oh, they're like I like
instantly
have a
hate-
vengeance
yeah,
against
hate
them.
everything. Yeah.
Well, that's what I was talking about in that other episode that we put out where we're talking about like people getting murdered. And I'm like, honestly, I'm not as triggered with people getting murdered. But if there's like an
You're so
animal getting murdered, I'm
desensitized.
like, oh my God,
Like how could
I can't
you?
watch this.
You're evil.
Yeah, well, because people like make bad decisions sometimes.
People are evil
and, like,
sometimes.
Well, I don't think that they're evil.
There are
but-
evil people, but
There
there
are
are no
evil people.
evil.
but that's only because
animals.
they've like chosen to be evil.
They don't do shit
like,
out of malice.
Animals, yeah, most animals don't do that. Some animals do.
I think most animals are like made good.
Well, I think people are made good, but you
I
choose
think
to make
we're-
bad decisions.
We're putting human emotion into animals, and they run off
I
strictly.
mean, I
like,
used to have a dog that like shit in the house on purpose because he was a little shithead, and he was like, "You're gonna leave me? I'm gonna poop in the house." And you would
Yeah.
like take him outside, and then he'd
Just
be
'cause
like,
he's sad.
"No, I'm gonna poop inside the house." No, he was a very loved
He
and
was
very
sad
well
because
taken
you
care
would
of
leave.
dog.
You would leave him, and he didn't like that very
Sometimes
much.
he would do it when we were home. He's like, "Oh, I don't want to go outside. I'm just gonna go here in your shoe or something." Like, I don't think that was a nice dog. I also had a cat one time that peed on me on purpose, and I took that
Ew,
shit.
Cat pee is so gross.
I took that cat straight to the Humane Society, and I was like, I don't care if they kill you or not. Like, I didn't even research if it was a no kill. It peed on me on purpose.
They
Don't
were
give me that
marking
face.
you as their human.
No, that is not okay.
Now you're mine.
You're mine.
I didn't kill it. I just took it to a place that they might have killed it.
Oh God.
I'm so sorry. I should not laugh.
Oh.
You shouldn't be on me. That's what. That
You
is
shouldn't
moral.
pee on me.
Okay,
Don't
on
on
to,
Amanda.
on to pop culture. Less talking about animals getting murdered in kill shelters.
We don't know that. Anywho.
I could have.
He's living a very long life
Yeah.
with someone else. So,
On a farm.
yeah, out in Montana.
Really nice. Nice open farm.
So Mandy and I decided on a topic that people write songs about, and they make movies and poems and plays, and all of us have experienced it at some point.
Heartbreak. Can I take
Insecurity,
Yeah.
guess? Oh. They
and
make
we're
songs
we're
about
all
that?
going. Yeah, of course. A lot of songs are about insecurity. What are you talking about? Am I not pretty enough? You know, like that. What's that song? You know that
No,
one?
it sounds
it's country.
nice. No.
It's good.
I don't
I don't
listen
know
to
it.
country. Except for my husband's band, because I love them, and I also love Mandy's country music, and all of my friends
as
out
an
there.
Afterthought when she looked at my face. She's like, "Oh shit, yeah, Mandy plays country." I
And
should
then
say
I
that
was like,
too.
"Oh yeah," and all of our other friends that sing country music, I listen to you.
Everyone who's listening to this podcast right now.
Oh god. Ah. Okay, but also along with insecurities
Is what it leads to.
right.
Changing your body
Yeah.
cosmetically.
Plastic surgery.
Yes, I love this subject so much.
Well, let's start with insecurity, which leads to okay. So, what do you think causes insecurity? Why do we feel the way that we feel about our bodies to the point where we feel like we need to change them for society or for someone? Well, some people will say that they, are getting lip fillers for themselves. Or they're, changing their boobs because they don't like looking in the mirror at them. But I honestly...
So because I wrote down this, I literally wrote the question, why are women insecure? And I wrote women, but this does apply to men and women. But somewhere in my research, I'm going to tell you that women, there's a percentage that I wrote down somewhere. Women are far more likely to get plastic surgery than men. And I wrote kind of that we assume the opinions of others based on our own thoughts. Like we assume
what someone else is thinking about
and
you.
you can't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, like how I keep apologizing how I sound terrible.
Yeah,
but you
right.
guys are
And
like,
we're like,
oh,
you
we're
sound
really
fantastic.
Fucking fine.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Shut the fuck up.
Shut the fuck up.
It's all the Sudafed.
Your voice is fine.
I hope that Sudafed and wine go well together.
For sure
Oh, God,
they do.
She's driving after this.
You better believe
I might
it.
not.
You might
sleep,
just
you
stay
can
on
sleep
the
it,
couch.
Here.
Yeah, I have a queen size bed all to my damn self.
See, I'm used to sleeping on a king now, so
Oh,
I'd
that's
be real
Nathan.
close to you.
That's
I'll
just sleep on
I
Chuck's
think
bed.
like things that happen to us as children also form
Yes.
this opinion, like how our parents treat us or how our friends treat us.
100%.
And like if we're perfectionists, or magazines obviously are a huge contributor.
But even just like your friends. I mean, because I remember growing up, and I want to like give a shout out quick to my mom, because when I thought back later on, I didn't even think about this until I was well into adulthood, that she never talked about like how badly about her body.
Yeah.
And she never talked badly about food. It was just like you ate when you're hungry, and you eat meat, potatoes, and veggies, because that's what we had all the time.
Yeah.
And she never really talked about her body. And so then I never talked about my body, and it's like, but then also I went to high school or even middle school, and I had friends that, girls are mean, kids are mean in general, but then girls in high school are awful. They're awful. And I had some people say really, really awful things to me about my physical traits of mine that I could do nothing about.
Yeah.
And it was just like thinking about that. Like, luckily, I had good friends, and I had good family and my mom and stuff to like talk me out of thinking like that. But some people don't, and then they go their whole lives just replaying what people tell them.
And I had a lot of friends who were really great, but then also didn't feel great about themselves. And so they, were bulimic.
Yeah.
Or they were, like they would do all kinds of things. And then one time I tried to be bulimic, and I'm like, shit, I can't even stick my own finger down my throat.
Right?
This is terrible.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I'm just going to not do this.
I literally didn't throw up till I was 16.
I couldn't handle it.
Till I got a stomach flu.
Yeah, I learned how to do that really easily.
I can't.
But the fact that people
Toothbrushes worked really well.
make you feel like you have to do that is a really sad thing.
It's so sad.
I would go days where all I ate were crackers.
Taylor.
In high school, where I was like, oh, I just want to be, because I was on the cheerleading squad, and I felt like I was the fattest girl on the squad, and I'm like, I need to be skinny like this one, or I need to be able to, whatever. And so you try and go through these hoops to make yourself look like
for a short period of time, and without a doubt, I was, and I'm not just saying this, like I actually was the biggest, even though I wasn't big.
Yeah. You look back now and you're like, shit, I wish that I had the body that I had when I thought that I was fat.
Yeah, that's
right?
my favorite meme ever.
Oh.
Yeah,
meme ever. Meme. That's my favorite meme.
But
meme.
Yeah, it's definitely people that you see around you.
When you're younger, it's like detrimental. because your mind is still forming, and the fact that people say things willy-nilly in high school or middle school or however old you are, that shit doesn't fade away.
Well, and I still think about, I specifically know what girls used to say to me about certain things about my body. I still know what they said, even though, no, I don't care. No, I don't take that into consideration, but I remember it.
So, I know I've talked about this in past episodes, but I'm reading that book, Girl Wash Your Face.
Yeah.
And I know that I've been reading it for a long time, but it's a lot to take in, and I've had to like take breaks. Yeah. Because it really like goes into your psyche. And she talks about it in there. She was like, I distinctly remember making fun of a girl for shaving her toes. And she was like, and do you know what I do? I shave my toes.
That was one thing that I got fucking made fun of.
Yeah. And like, so she talks about how like she
why do you
was like,
shave your toes?
I shave my toes because I have hairy toes.
I have hairy toes, but I don't even care anymore.
Yeah. But I'm not about to have hobbit feet. I'm going to shave them.
I have hobbit feet.
Guys, I don't have any hair on my toes.
Super excited for you, TT.
I'm just kidding.
Don't judge
I
us
hope you
for
guys feel
shaving our
really
toes.
bad about
Thank
yourself.
you.
But like the whole thing was that she like judged this other girl for it and like made fun of her and was like, oh, I can't believe that you shave your toes. But
And
then
now
she
does
like
the same
went
thing.
home and she shaved her toes
did
at
it.
the same time.
Yeah.
And so it's like, I think that we have to remember, and she's like, I still feel bad about that. Like and I was mean to a kid in 3rd grade and I made him cry and I still feel bad about it. And I've tried to find him on Facebook so that I can apologize for something that I did in 3rd grade. Like there are things that we just don't realize that we do that hurt other people. And I'm sure that those girls that were mean to you in high school probably think about it and they're like, damn, why did I do that? Like,
I mean, I hope so.
Yeah,
but
you want to think they do.
I have known, or I've talked to a couple of them, after, and people do grow up.
Yeah,
some people don't
most
grow
people
up.
grow up.
There are some people who like
Some people
are
don't.
probably like Romeo and Michelle's high school reunion.
Right?
oh yeah.
Those really shitty
God,
girls.
Such a good movie.
Such a good movie. I've
should
like,
watch
talked about that movie
should
a
watch
lot
it.
lately.
So
Like this
good.
is probably like I don't know if we've referenced it a lot, but
Maybe.
in my
Couple
life
times.
recently I've been talking about
Yeah.
this movie a lot.
It is a pretty
Probably
epic
because
movie.
also because my high school reunion was like last weekend.
The
Nice.
10-year?
10 year.
Oh, shit.
Man, I'm old.
I've already had
Mine
mine,
in
so
I didn't
2
go.
more years.
I didn't go either.
Actually, more like a year and some change.
I think
'Cause it's
Facebook
almost
kind of
2019.
ruined.
Yeah, Facebook really has ruined reunions
And,
because you see
Like,
what
I know
everyone's
what you're
doing
up
with
to,
their
bitch.
life.
You're on your 3rd kid
And-
with your 2nd dad.
Yeah, and if I wanted to like have a high school reunion, all I have to do is go home and go to a local bar, and I see every single
like, "Hey,
person
what's up?"
that because they're all doing the same shit that we did
See
in
you
high
in
school.
6 months.
Yeah.
So one of the statistics that I found, and I think that it has a lot to do with the internet. The American Society for Aesthetic Plastic Surgery reported an increase of 446% in cosmetic procedures since 1997, and an overall increase of 8% since 2007, with people just taking or undergoing cosmetic surgery for anything. I mean, from minor like lip fillers or, Botox or whatever, to like major surgery.
And this probably isn't in that percentage, but eyelash extensions.
Yeah.
I have them.
I mean, anything.
I have them
and
too.
but I also like love them. It's really terrible that our society like makes us feel like we,
But then
need
there's the
them.
line.
Need
Like, are you
things.
doing it because you like them? You're not,
I'm doing it because I like the way my eyes look when I have them.
well, then,
And what am I trying to say? I like it, but I also think that other people probably like it better. And that's a sad thing to say. But
no, I mean, you
I-
think about it though.
I don't know. I like my lash extensions, and I've been getting them for a long time because it makes me like feel pretty. And I don't think that that's a societal thing, because I mean it might be.
well, it definitely is.
It definitely is in the fact that like we wear makeup to make us look prettier, and we
Like back in cave woman days, they wouldn't have ever thought of doing that.
Yeah, that's true. But I get eyelash extensions so that I don't have to put on makeup, and that makes me a happier person. And I just wake up and I feel pretty, and I'm like, I'm a much happier person this way.
Right.
So
And that's okay. But why do we feel like we need makeup? Like, go to the stem of that problem and the root of that.
Look
and
at
Alicia
Keys.
yeah, she's great.
She just stopped.
She's
one
the
day.
best. I wish that
she's so
wearing
pretty.
makeup.
I wish that I had that,
But also,
I wish I could do
makeup.
that.
I think I like playing around with it. I like using
an
different
art.
colors, and I'm an artist.
I'm not good at makeup, so I just don't do it, and that's why I get eyelash extensions. And everyone's like, and then I put on lipstick one day, and everyone's
They're
like,
like,
"Oh my
"Did you put on
gosh, you're so beautiful!" And I'm like, "Thanks." I tried really hard,
Just put this
but
here
if
with
I put on
rouge
makeup, like everyone's like, "Oh." Actually, I did my own makeup for my engagement photos, and everyone was like, "Oh my gosh, you look so pretty. Who did your makeup? Did your friend Amy do your makeup?" And I was like, "No, bitches, I did it myself. I know how to do things. I just don't want to take the time to do it."
It is.
It's too
And
much
it's hard
effort.
on your skin.
And
You have to take it off.
yeah, and I don't do that, so
Yeah.
I just don't put it on.
Amanda sent me a video of this woman that had to go get like surgery under her eyelids because she had so much mascara because she never took her makeup off. She had so much mascara that was embedded into the skin in the inside of her eyelid.
Gross.
She had to go get it surgically removed.
That's disgusting.
And so now I take my makeup off every
Oh
night.
my gosh.
I know. Honestly, it changed it. She sent this and she's like, "Because I love your beautiful eyes. Protect them." And I saw that and I was like, shit, yeah. I'm going to do that now.
Wow.
Do you guys talk about Botched?
So
Yes!
there's like a list of TV shows that make people feel bad about themselves.
And then I have a comment
So-
after.
Botched makes me feel good about myself, though.
The one that I think of is The Swan. Did you guys ever watch that?
No.
Am I too old?
The Swan, that's a
So
show?
The Swan was one of the very first shows to come out about plastic surgery.
I think I remember.
It would take these women who look like, plain Jane, ordinary. Some of them were overweight.
I do remember
They never wore makeup. Their hair was ratty, and they would take these ugly duckling women, as to put it as
Right.
bluntly as possible, and those people would get together. They would have a psychologist. They had cosmetic surgery who was good with face stuff, and then they had a body cosmet or whatever.
That's crazy.
And they underwent this crazy transformation. At the end, they walked out in these beautiful gowns and they looked in the mirror and they started crying at themselves. And they're like, "I'm so beautiful." It was the most ridiculous
That's
TV
insane.
show.
It's scary.
I remember seeing the advertisements for it, but I never watched
They
it.
would be unveiled to their family and their family would be like, "Is that my mom? She's so pretty." And it's really terrible because
They literally
like,
changed your mom's
oh
face.
God, they sucked all the fat out of her thighs.
no.
And they, put that fat up in her cheeks, and then they like gave her a nose job and they lifted up her boobs.
Oh my God.
And they made her hair blonde
No.
and she was ta-da, like the swan. She was an ugly duckling and
Ta-da.
now she's a swan. So crazy. So that was the beginning, kind of. So The Swan, Botched, Real Housewives, Extreme Makeover, Dr. 90210, I Want a Famous Face, and Atlanta Plastic were a couple of the ones that I came across.
Oh.
Like, there's
Botched is my
so
favorite.
many. Botched
I
is so
love
good.
Botched.
But I like it because they like fix, ones that got bad plastic surgery.
Yes.
Or ones that have like genetic defects or like birth defects. And
Yeah.
stuff,
Yeah.
which
They
I think
make you
is-
feel better from like the bad decision that you made
Right.
or the way that you were born. Yes.
Yeah. So, people who have watched a considerable amount of cosmetic surgery shows
Are more likely.
reported a greater influence from television and media to have cosmetic surgery.
Wow.
Compared to low intensity viewers. High intensity viewers felt more knowledgeable about cosmetic surgery in general and believed that those reality shows to be more realistic than that people who do not watch them as much.
I'm just
So,
going
like-
to say that I would totally have plastic surgery.
On what?
My boobs.
For why?
Because one is like
Why
3
though?
times bigger than the other.
Stop
Everybody
it.
has uneven
Well, I also
boobs.
have, yeah, but mine are like ridiculously big. You can ask Taylor; she's
I
seen
did
them.
see them. I saw them, but
And
they're really not.
They
bad.
are definitely
No,
much
they're
Now
not.
I
different.
feel left out.
They're great boobs.
I can show you later. But my ribs stick out too far from swimming. Like my ribs
Okay.
like stick out much further. And so like for me personally to like, and it has everything to do with society, But I would feel much more confident in like tighter, not tight shirts, but I wear very loose clothing because my boobs and my ribs are basically the same. So I would want like my ribs, like I can't have my ribs smaller.
I'm sure there's a
I'm sure
way
that there could,
you
but that's like
awful.
super painful.
Yeah,
so I would
that
rather
sounds
have
awful.
like my boobs a little bit bigger and more
knew this about
even,
you.
just so that I could wear a shirt and not be so self-conscious about how big my ribs are.
Amanda, I just want to let you know you're beautiful.
I just want you
And
to know
your
that my
boobs are
husband-
wonderful.
I
but
know, but my husband has like reached over in the night and grabbed
your ribs and like,
thought that it was my boob. So like, it's not like that. I'm
Mark.
you know, and it's not something that like is. But that's the one thing that I'm self-conscious about. And it's
Yeah.
not like, and he was like, oh shit, like, sorry, you know, but like, that's something that like my ribs are so large and like, I won't wear a 2-piece bathing suit because of it. And I have no care about how big my thighs are or if my stomach isn't like the skinniest or anything like that. But that's the one thing that I would definitely change. But I would never get
interesting.
Botox only because there aren't enough studies on the long-term effects of Botox because
Yeah, it
you're
could, like
putting
do
like,
crazy
poison
shit
in your face.
skin.
Yeah.
But I support you 100% with whatever you choose to do with your body.
Yeah. So I support anyone out there that's listening that would get plastic surgery or has gotten plastic surgery because I am one of those that would also do it.
And like the things that I'd want, to make better about my body, I just have to work out, and I don't wanna.
I think if I
and
were to
stop
get
eating so
plastic
much
surgery, I would get lip injections just to see if I could, like
Have the like,
have like the pouty, more pouty.
yeah.
You wear lipstick like all the well, you used to. I guess you haven't worn it lately.
She's
No,
kissing now.
I wear lipstick every single day.
I know.
It's lip stain though. I'm
Anyway,
just
I
saying bigger
always-
lips. I would
know,
rather
but
just have like
you just have nice lips for lipstick. So it'd be interesting
Yeah.
to like see that because
My
my
top-
lips
lips
are
are
already
nice.
like your feature.
but bigger lips would be nicer for lipstick.
Yeah. My top lip totally disappears when I smile.
See, that's my thing. I think when I'm not
Everybody's
smiling, I don't mind it. But then, I mean, that wasn't my real smile, but I could literally just like, it could go
Everybody
away.
It could just disappear. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but yours is not.
But like
yours
when I normally
doesn't
smile,
disappear as much as mine and Taylor's
Yeah.
does.
My top lip
well,
just
I
like
think I
goes
have
away.
some bigger lips.
Yeah, you have great lips.
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 Found out that I think I got them from my dad. Looking back, I could never tell because he has a mustache and I can't see underneath it.
I was like, how did you
I was like,
find out
that's
that?
a weird thing.
Because I was looking through old pictures and I saw this picture of him when he was like 16 or 17, and I realized that I look just like him.
All three of our dads have a mustache.
Yep. Real rocking the stashes.
My dad does the full beard though.
My dad just does the
I told him
stash,
once
and it's
I-
jet black.
Once I have kids and he has grandkids, then he has to grow the beard out. That was the deal.
I like that deal.
It's a good
He's
deal.
like, because it's all white now, and he's like, makes me look old. I'm like, well,
hate to break it to
yeah.
you.
I'm like, oh, awkward. I don't want to.
He doesn't listen to this, right?
Hell no, he doesn't listen to this.
My dad doesn't even know how to turn on a computer. I just got him into emojis recently.
It's exciting.
Well, I mean, he like sees my emoji and laughs about it. Like he doesn't actually send me back emoji.
He just enjoys them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you want to guess how much money was spent on plastic surgery in the year 2016?
The whole year?
Yes.
It's millions.
Hold on. The whole year on plastic surgery.
It's gonna be like $43 million.
I'm gonna say like I'm gonna say $1 billion.
What did you say?
I said 43 million, but then I also said 6.2 million.
$16 billion.
I was closer.
Holy. $16 billion.
I was gonna say because like each procedure is
It's
thousands.
pretty
And that
expensive,
also,
yeah.
so that includes all of it. So lip fillers, facelips,
That's what they are.
lifts,
There's other lips that
lipo,
aren't on your
nose
face.
jobs, breast augmentation, like all of it. And I've known, like, so we have a family friend up in Ohio. I don't think she listens to this, but she got a tummy tuck, And that shit just comes right back if you don't change
Right, you
what
need to
you're
change your
doing.
lifestyle.
So it's like you spend so much money on something and then it just undoes itself in
I have
a
lady
year and a
from my
half.
hometown that
like,
did that though, the band,
Oh yeah,
and
I know people.
she
that
did
have done
change
the
her
band.
entire life, and now she's smaller than me.
I know people that have
crazy.
gotten the band.
Yeah, the
and
band.
Like, gained it all back because you can just do it
but
slowly.
that's not a cosmetic surgery, would you say?
Yeah.
A lap band?
I think it is. I mean,
Yeah,
it
they
changes
have to-
the way you look.
Yeah,
Well,
but
that
it's
and-
based on health reasons. It's not on cosmetic.
Yes, it is.
Not always.
Some people just want to lose weight, so they do it.
Some cosmetic surgery is
but they
also
don't
based
let
on
you do
health.
it unless you're like 600 pounds, right? Like you have to.
You don't have to be 600.
Not 600 pounds, but I've watched
On
600
my
pound
600
life
pound life,
religiously.
they have to choose. They have to lose weight first before
Yeah.
they can do it.
Just
I
so they
mean,
can
let's
show they
be
can
honest,
keep it up.
yeah.
I'm obese in medical terms.
I think all of us are.
I think all of us are.
You know what? None of us
Most
would
people are.
Most people are.
qualify.
None of us
for
would
the
qualify
lap band?
for a lap band surgery.
I mean,
guess
if
it
we
just
went to
depends on-
Mexico,
I was gonna say some shady ass fucking surgery.
Maybe
yeah.
in Russia.
have you guys seen? Please tell me that you guys talked about like the real life Barbie or Ken doll.
Yes,
Okay.
I saw it on.
On
have
Botched.
They have
That
him
one
as like
dude
a
who has
consultant.
who puts in the implants like all over his body, like,
He has muscle implants like on his pecs and his biceps,
and he
everything.
seems like such a nice dude too.
he designed them all.
But it's so scary
Yeah.
to
They've
look
also-
at.
I've seen them on Botched where like I saw one of the Ken doll guys and they like refused to do any surgery on him
because
he
he's had too much.
so
He was
many.
he was looking for them to better him and not fix something that someone else has done.
Yeah.
But the crazy part was that he like I'm talking about the brunette guy.
Yeah, me too.
Okay.
With all the implants,
Yeah,
and
with all
he's
the
got his
implants.
own pool house, and he's
Yeah.
like,
Oh, I'm
yeah,
talking
come
about
on
a
in.
blonde guy.
Like they never did surgery on him because
Yeah.
all of his is just
'Cause he's
cosmetic
just-
and
yeah.
he doesn't actually have any health issues or anything. But they use him as a consultant, to see if like certain implants would work or if because he designed his own implants.
It's pretty crazy.
So actually, it's like he has a weirdly in-depth
Artistic.
look at it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway,
it is an addiction.
it is.
Sorry. Sorry. I'm
Say
sorry.
it is an addiction again.
It is an addiction. Like I know people that have started getting plastic surgery and then they've gotten so many things done that they don't even look like the person that they used to be.
Like Renee Zellweger. She
Oh
got
gosh,
rid of her eyelids.
eyelids.
Oh, yeah.
But the eyelid surgery, that's something, your eyes make you who you are. So when you change that after people know what you look like
Yeah.
for 30, 40 years, it's insane.
She like looks so different.
It looks
She's
so
a
weird.
strange alien woman now.
Yeah, I loved her.
Although had we seen her the way she is now, we'd be like, oh, that's Renee Zellweger if she would have started that way.
Right, but she
Yeah.
didn't.
Those
Definitely
hooded eyes, I've got those hooded eyes, like the Asian looking, like when I went to go get my eyelashes done.
She's
the
like,
girl-
open your eyes.
Yeah, Red Rose. She was like, oh yeah, you got the hooded eyes, and my eyelashes actually go downward. People with Asian backgrounds have that, so I must have some sort of Asian.
You should do
background.
23andMe.
I really want to. Although if I ever commit a crime, then they'll have my DNA.
Yeah. Shout out San Francisco.
Whoop, whoop.
So I read up on this study that this clinic did, and it took 500 patients. They were consecutive patients. They completed a questionnaire prior to their consultation. They completed a questionnaire prior to their consultation with a plastic surgeon at the clinic, and almost all patients, about 95%, used the internet to collect information prior to consultation, and 68% of them being their first search method. Social media was used by 46% of patients, and 40% of those were strongly influenced when choosing a specific doctor. Like they
They had
picked
done all their research.
on the internet. Well, on social media. I just thought that was weird. But also, I guess, like, I look for stuff, like, on Facebook.
Yeah.
Like,
I
look-
read
just to make
reviews
sure,
before I
for
buy
sure.
or do anything.
Yeah.
Which is why you guys should
You gotta
always
Yelp everything.
leave reviews about our podcast and how great we are so that people can listen to us.
But don't ever leave a bad review
yeah, please don't do that.
because
that
we
hurt
would
our
cry.
feelings.
Yeah.
Chuck would be
I
upset.
mean, I would look online and I would do all of the research too before I got any surgery from anyone.
yeah.
But this topic kind of made me think when I have children, like if I have like a little girl, or I guess there are definitely men who have plastic surgery and who feel
It's
bad
just
about
not
their
as common.
bodies, but
Yeah.
for some reason it is kind of like an epidemic with women. But I want to be able to teach her that she's beautiful no matter what. And that's a really difficult thing to do
It is.
in this day and age, especially with children who are growing up looking at Instagram models
Yep.
and, reading
also-
magazines where
I think it's a cool, like, I think that we're at the beginning, like, just the tip of the iceberg of the change of acknowledging real bodies. Like, we're
Yeah.
in the generation,
Dove
like, Aerie.
is really
Dove.
good. Aerie, yeah.
You know,
Target.
Yeah. So they're saying that, like, women's bodies don't have to be this, like, perfect airbrushed model, Victoria's Secret shit. Which, by the way, Victoria's Secret is kind of bullshit. Because mostly just from their advertisements. If they weren't trying to advertise, like, quote unquote real women, and then they just go ahead and place the same skinny ass models in their ads, but say like they're like diverse women's bodies, and they're literally all
Yeah, I was
still-
about to say, like, those are still real women, but the diversity is
But
not
they're-
there.
right.
And I do think that they would be doing themselves a service if they did incorporate
Yes.
a few different
Because I'm
body
sorry,
types. Yeah,
when I
for
walk
sure.
into Victoria's Secret and I look around, not that I actually really
I mean,
look
I
at other
do
people's
love
bodies.
Victoria's Secret because it's beautiful in there. They got like
It
all the
is.
satin and shit.
I know. It's
Actually,
nice.
don't ever walk in there anymore. Cause
Yeah, I buy their underwear.
I
It
started-
is very expensive.
well, I stopped going in there whenever I was buying underwear next to 7-year-olds buying underwear, and I was like, this is uncomfortable for me.
Yeah.
And I just stopped doing
But I
it.
look around and I'm like, all these people are buying Victoria's Secret, and none of them look like the
the
Victoria's
models.
Secret models.
Yeah.
Like, we want to see
That's
it.
why
I love
Aerie is really great.
Yes.
They're really, really fantastic. And we can't say it enough. In fact, we should reach out to Aerie.
Yeah,
Like,
because we've talked
sponsor
about
our
them. Like,
podcast.
what, this is like
We're
the second
all about
time.
We're like advocates of
raved
Aerie.
about it.
Even if they don't sponsor us with
Just send us
underwear,
free
Yes.
please.
we'll still love you.
Sponsor us underwear, not wine. That's fine. We
Oh.
love
Underwear,
that.
not wine.
That's fine.
That's
I like
fine.
that. Yeah, so this has been a short and sweet podcast.
Good though.
It was a nice discussion. Hopefully you guys got something out of it. We wanted to let you guys know that all of you are beautiful and precious and wonderful.
Precious.
Oh, yeah.
You're beautiful. It's true.
Yep. If I have face on a crowded place. Do we have to pay him if we sing that?
Yeah, I
No.
don't think you can.
I don't
We're
think
not
we're
selling
allowed
this.
to. I don't think we're allowed to play. We're technically not allowed to play any music
Interesting.
on our podcast that isn't.
Oh, you can cover something.
Oh,
like
so
you
maybe
can
us
cover
singing will be
music?
is fine.
Us singing it is fine,
But
as long as we're not
playing the
selling
actual
episode.
track.
Yeah.
Yeah, is no good.
Man.
Yeah, but we love you all, and we want you to know that
do.
you're beautiful in every single way.
Also, shout out to my best friend's boobs because her parents bought them for her, and they are great.
Beautiful. Beautiful boobs.
Wonderful, boobs.
Reach out to us on our social media at Pop Crime and Wine, or email us if you want to sponsor us, or if you just want to, tell us something or ask us a question or something. Reach out, popcrimewine@gmail.com.
And we wanted to thank Arrington Vineyards one more time because
Thank you, Aaron.
You guys
I
are
finished
so
my glass of
fantastic.
wine a long time ago.
This wine is
you guys
so
are like
good.
still sipping on yours, and I'm
Hey,
like,
I'm
this
almost
is so good.
Sorry.
Yeah. So wine is great. Friends are great.
your
episode
body
is
is wonderful.
body's
Your
wonderful.
body is
Your
a
body is a
wonderland.
Oh yeah.
All right, guys. As always, we will
See you next Tuesday. Unless one of us is sick, and then we'll see you next Thursday or Friday or Saturday or something.
But hopefully that doesn't happen anymore.